attempt number 4. but we're gonna keep trying. We're gonna keep trying until we get it right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna stop. I won't go to sleep. This motivates me to, cause I don't know why. Well, I know why. Sometimes things happen with the internet, and but we're gonna work through it. What's going on? We're gonna work through it. Exactly. See, there we go. All right. So, so we got it. Got everything straight. Cause for a couple seconds there, for not for seconds, but for a while there, you know, it wouldn't work. The volume, my volume, like, cause I was live one time, and somebody that knew me, I was live for, I don't know, probably like 30, maybe 40 minutes, and I was just talking, and I was reading the comments. Nobody said, "Hey, you muted." Nobody said, "Hey, man, you muted." They're just like saying other crazy stuff, and so I'm ignoring the stuff because I don't I want this channel to be a channel of growth. I used to go back and forth with trolls back in the day, but I'm not gonna do that. No, I'm not gonna do that anymore. But anyway, I didn't like pay attention to it. So I was just talking about this and talking about that and sharing life stories, you know and after I got off the live, towards the end of the live, somebody inboxed me and told me that they couldn't hear nothing I was saying. They told me they couldn't hear nothing I was saying. So I'm like, oh, what? So I'm going forward. You know, I try to make sure before I start talking that that people can hear my live, people can hear what I'm saying, and we can pretty much wrap from there. And like I said, as long as the comments are positive, as long as the comments are positive, and it's about growth and change, then I entertain it and I respond. But if it's not, then I'm not gonna pay attention to it. So you can say what you want to say or say all the crazy stuff you want to talk about, but I'm not gonna entertain it at all. So that's get that out of the way. But anyway, I hope everyone had a blessed and productive day, a productive day. A God-driven day. Hope you did something that you wanted to do, or even if you didn't complete that task, you made steps towards doing something that God has in your heart for you to do, or the spirit, your spirit, and anything. I'm gonna say this, and I believe this. Anything that touches your soul, touches your spirit, that you have a desire to do, that you would do for free, that was placed there. That was placed there by God. So hey, how you doing? How you doing? Happy Friday. I got to work tomorrow, but if you don't, then congratulations to you. But yeah, a couple of things I want. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? A couple of things I want to share to you all. It's two things. It's two things that I want to share. About God's gifts. About God's gifts, right? You know. So what? Yeah, happy Friday. So listen. So a couple of things, right? You know, when you pray for those that pray, when you or you that's a great middle name. So listen, if you, I'm gonna get to your comments in a second. Let me say this real quick, and I get to the comments. But you know, if you pray for something, right? And because I had this happen to me today, and just like I was just like flabbergasted. I was just flabbergasted that it happened. When you pray for something and you actually get it, you know, it doesn't come in a wrap, a big wrap. Like a big nice present. When God gives you something, when God gives you what you want, He gives you what you ask for. But sometimes when He gives it to you, it's not it's not wrapped up in a big bow. It's not wrapped up. It's not wrapped up in a gorgeous package for you. And sometimes, you know, it's going to be harder than anything else. But he's giving it to you. He's giving it to you because it's what you need at that time. He's giving it to you because it's what you need at that time. Because it's what you need. And sometimes I'm speaking to myself first. I always do. Anytime I come on live, watch my live. Anytime I come on live, I talk to myself first. I record these videos. I want to inspire people, but I'm talking about I'm talking to myself first. So, but yeah. Anytime, anytime God gives you something, He's giving you what you need. He's blessing you with what you need, and you ask for it. You ask for something, but when you ask for it, you wanted this and you wanted that. But he gave you most of it. Well, he may have given you all of it, but it's certain parts of it that you may not like. And then you say, oh, you want to throw everything away. Because it happened to me today, and I had to think to myself. I'm like, you know, this is what I asked God for. This is what I asked God for. But what happened was, I'm gonna share this with you. What happened was, I for those that follow my channel, I've been unemployed for a while, right? I've been unemployed for a while, and so, I asked God for, I've been praying for a job with certain stipulations, and so when I got the job, I asked I asked the person in charge, the manager, the owner, you know, for certain things. Uh, one specific thing, one specific thing, one specific thing. I asked him for, and he said, "Yeah." I said, "I can do that. I'll do that for you. I got it." I said, "Okay." I came home. I was so happy. I was ecstatic, right? I was so ecstatic. I was so happy. I was so happy that. But then I went back the following day, and the schedule was up, and I figured that he flabbergasted me. He flabbergasted me because he didn't keep his word. I'm like, and I got mad. I got pissed off. I got upset, and then I realized I'm like, huh, it's a lesson. It's a lesson in this, and not only that, you scheduled me for a whole bunch of days, but um, giving me what I asked for. And sometimes when God gives you what you ask for, it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty. But with that, other things have been happening. Other things have been happening to be a blessing to me that I didn't even see. I didn't even realize that would happen in this environment, in this place. But I've been getting other blessings. So sometimes God puts you where you're supposed to be. And sometimes, even though you want to do certain things, God knows what He's doing. You just be faithful and be grateful that He put you in certain situations. He put you in certain situations so you can see, and you can be grateful. You can be thankful, and you can learn from them all. So, but yeah, but yeah. So it was a long day. You see, if you look at me, you see, I haven't even I just got home like not too long ago. So, But yeah, I didn't come on last night. I was tired, man. I was tired. I was so tired. But I figured I could not come on today and share because God's got a blessing for you. He has a blessing for you. A lot of times we think and I can never say that when I pray for something, I don't necessarily get it. I just when I get it, I don't realize. You realize it, but it's like you want it to be better than what it is. You want certain circumstances to equivalent to what you're used to, and that's not the way God has it. That's not the way God planned it. That's not the way God wants it to be. Because everything that happens to you, if you believe, everything that happens to you is happening according to God's and God's will. Now, I'm not, I'm saying like, okay, I ain't gonna get into all that. But yeah, huh? Well, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, network. You guys network. Talk amongst each other. It's good. Especially if you believe. And like I said, this channel is about growth. Like if you inspire to grow, if you inspire to, if you believe, then share. You know, share. I basically want to come on and share my day. But if you want to share your day, talk about it. Put it in the chat. Talk about something that happened in your day that you want to share that was a blessing to you, and that you want to add. Maybe that it can be a blessing to someone else. Because you know a lot of times that helps. Because we all in this space together. And I was thinking about the monks too. I don't know anything about. I want to read about that. Read about what monks are and what they believe. But I haven't had the time. But I had the time, but I haven't done it. You can make time to do what you want to do. But yeah, I think that's a great thing. Walking for peace. That's a great thing. So if you have any idea what they believe, what they do, share that too, because that is awesome. That is awesome. And you know, more people should get involved and do that. I wish I was close. If I was in that area, I would be walking with them at least to a certain point. At least to a certain point. But I know in South Carolina. I think they're in South Carolina. They started in South Carolina, but I know it's cold, pretty cold there. But yeah, man, that's a great thing. So yeah, God's got a blessing for you. He's got a blessing for you. You know, whatever you pray for. And the funny thing about it is like when you when you pray for something, when you pray for something, and you happy about it. You happy about things, and things are going well with you. Never mind. But yeah, never mind. But oh yeah, the University of Miami won last night, won the other night. So they're gonna play Thursday. The Canes. I had a guy tell me today that he hate the Canes. He hate the University of Miami. He hate Michael Irvin and everybody. I'm like, whoa, Jimmy Johnson. Like, really? You hate all those guys? He say, I'm not a Cowboy fan either. I said, oh. So, I had to laugh. Like they get ready to be, in my opinion, Miami Hurricanes get ready to be national champions. If you follow football, Miami Hurricanes get ready to be national champions, and it goes back to what they used to be. The Canes were always champs. That's where a lot of the superstars came from. Okay, that's good. That's a great thing. Me too. Me too. I started my day by praying too. It's a great thing. Start your day. That makes all the difference, in my opinion. Start your day off in a positive way. Pray. What I do is pray, and I talk about my day and talk about how I want my day to go. And you know, it's been working out so far so good. It's been working out good for me so far. So far so good. I you know I I've been down a dark road. I was telling God today, and sometimes there's another thing too that happened to me today too, and it's funny. Sometimes, and I talked to somebody that I used to know, and I asked them because I asked two people that I know that were good friends, and they love me, and so I asked them, and I'm gonna share this with you. And the fun thing about the story is people prejudge you by the way you look, right? People prejudge you by the way you look, and they don't know you. They don't know you from Adam. And so anyway, I asked somebody I know that I talked to them. They came by. I say after all the stuff, well, it's been a lot, but I say after all the stuff we've been through, and things that happen. I said, why you still check on me and come by and want to deal with me? He said, because I know who you are and I love you. And I said, you know, if people can see that in you, and sometimes people see things in you that is there, but I don't know. But anyway, the reason why I bring that up is because um, the guy was riding me. My boss was riding me. He's been riding me since I've been there. And I asked him, I'm like, why you say, I want you to be here. I want you to be here. I want you to be here. I want you to elevate. I want you to move up. And I say, all right, well, I don't know about all that, but anyway. But the person was talking to me, and he was just like, like asking me where I was from, and he had been like kind of like what they call it, standoffish all day. We was working together. We had been standoffish all day, and so he got into he was talking about what he wanted, because he's a younger guy, talking about what he wanted and what he wanted his life to be and this and that. And I said, well, you have to do things outside of the box. And he said, well, I'm doing that already. He said it proud, right? He said, I'm doing that already. And I said, what is that? And he said, I'm doing real estate. And real estate is always, for those that don't know, real estate is always great. Investing, whether it's stocks, bonds, whatever the case may be. You got to think outside the box if you want to build wealth. You can't work for somebody on a 9-to-5 job and build wealth. That's just a little guns tip for the day. But anyway, he told me that he was telling me this, right? And so I said, yeah. Well, yeah. I used to do wholesale buying, which is true. In 2003, I was doing wholesale buying, and so he it's like his whole his whole attitude, his whole mannerism changed, and the whole conversation changed. It shifted. It shifted because he felt before he probably felt I was just like a older guy that just was working. But after I said that, then obviously. But I shared some tips with him and shared some stories with him about what I used to do and the things I used to do, because we all been down a dark road. We all been out. I know I have. And I told him, I said, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him, and I'm glad that, because and one thing he shared with me that I'm gonna share with you, because a lot of people don't learn from it. A lot of people don't learn it. A lot of people don't learn this. A lot of people don't learn this. A lot of people don't learn this. A lot of people don't develop this. And for a young man to say this, it touched my heart. And I'm happy I met him, and it, it, you know, going forward, he all right with me. But he said that a lot of his family have made mistakes and done crazy stuff, and he said he made up in his mind at a young age. Say he was young, that he wasn't gonna go down that road. And so a lot of people, a lot of kids, especially me, we see certain things and we emulate it. Like whether it's drugs and making money in the streets and doing crazy stuff, we try to emulate it because that's what we used to. But he's the opposite. He saw certain things, and he said, "No, no, I'm not going down that road. I want to do something different." And so he's in the position. He's in the position now at a young age to do special things. And so I applaud that. And I told him, I said, if I see anything, that can help, I'll do that. I'll do that because I'm never in a place. I'm never in a place, regardless of, and I don't want to you know, once you see certain things, if you want to see them again, you can. If you don't, you don't have to. And that's where I'm at with that. That's where I'm at with that. So, if you want to see certain things, you can. If you don't, you don't have to. But yeah, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. Like I say, sometimes God puts you. He don't put you. He. That's why the whole topic of this video is God got a blessing for you. And sometimes when God puts you certain places, He don't put you where you want to be. Put you where you need to be. Where you need to be. And sometimes you tell God thank you. Tell God thank you. Because it's all a lesson. It's all a lesson, and it's all a blessing. Now, I'm talking about employment, or wherever you are in life, whatever you pray for. Because when you pray for something, a lot of times you think you probably think you haven't gotten it, but you got it. You got it. But this is not in the pretty box you want it to be in. But sometimes if it's not in a pretty box, if it's in a raggedy box, if it's in a raggedy toilet box, you probably throw it in the garbage can. But there it was right there. Say, God, why you never send me my blessing? So I sent to you, it was in that box that you never want to look in. And there it is. And then you gotta wait, a certain amount of time. You're like, God, why happened to my blessing? You keep praying, keep praying. In other cases, sometimes, God don't give you that. He don't give you your blessing because you're not ready for your blessing. But you have to be ready. And I can speak on that too. And sometimes you're ready. Sometimes you're ready, and it works out where you are ready. But life throws you a curveball. It's always like that. And if you're not strong enough, spiritually strong enough to hit that curve, then everything can crumble. And I play baseball. I use that analogy because I played baseball. Yeah, I had trouble hitting a curveball sometimes, but it all depends. It all depends. If I seen the picture before, and that's another thing too. If you're spiritually sound, and you've been through certain things before, and you've seen them before, then you know how to respond. But in certain cases, in certain instances, you've never seen this before. If you've never seen it before, then how you know how to respond? You don't. You're going through the first time. So, and if you're not spiritually sound, you don't know how to respond. You're not going to get on your knees and pray, especially if you don't have somebody that's strong praying for you too. You got to have somebody. Not only you have to be strong in prayer, you have to have somebody that's strong in prayer too. And if you don't have that, then And another thing too, I want to talk about before I get out, because this came up too. We talk about fasting. I talked about it the other night. I'm gonna talk about it again. Hey, how you doing? Good evening. Welcome. I know it's Friday, and tomorrow I'm gonna do a Q&A tomorrow. Well, maybe I have to see. I got to work tomorrow too. But anyway, I want to close out with fasting, because this came up too. And fasting. I can't coach you anything right now, but maybe I'll come back another time and coach you. But I'm speaking for me. Fasting is great for discipline. Because if you can't control what goes in your mouth, how can you control anything else? And that's the truth. If you can control what goes into your mouth, like desiring to eat certain things, whatever the case may be, whatever you may want, if you can control that, then how can you control anything else? You can't. You can't. So it's a discipline. And hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? You say Big Mac. But hey, that's on you. That's on you. But I've done it. I did it. I did it in October, November. I did it again towards the end of November and December too. But I haven't done it this month. But you can see if you look at if you look at my videos, look at my old videos, look at my new videos, you can see that you can see the difference. Because I'm down like what, probably like 20 pounds, at least 20 pounds. Since I started like fasting back and forth. Plus, but yeah. So and I feel better. My blood pressure is down, and everything else. So, my blood pressure, like I'm not telling you to fast for blood pressure. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Don't get it twisted. I'm saying what happened for me and what works for me. So don't do that. Don't say that I said that, because I didn't. But I'm saying that my blood pressure was higher before, and now it's a little lower. It was like 135, 140, and now it's in the 120s, 130s. So, but I've been moving, exercising, and other stuff too. So it's not just that, not just the fact that I fast. It's the fact that I've dropped some pounds, and I've been moving, exercising as well. So, but I'll say that to say, even if you do it, one day a month or whatever, but make a covenant with God. Make a covenant with God, and pay for something, pay for change, and whatever you may desire, and do that. But I believe it works. I believe it works. But hey, how you doing? Yeah, I believe it works. So it's all up to you guys. It's all up to you, what you desire to do. But what works for me may not work for you. You know what I mean? Well, it's working. But yeah. But I thank God for another day of life and strength. I pray that you had a blessed day. I pray that your day was full of whatever you wanted to be full of. And the compound effect. The compound effect. Every day, put a stone or a pebble into a bucket, and sooner or later that bucket will be full. So it don't happen overnight. Whatever you want doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes belief, it takes faith, and it takes movement. I ain't post. I did that video earlier today, but I ain't posted. But yeah, it takes movement. Oh man. But yeah, it takes movement. It takes steps. It takes faith. Because a lot of times when you want something, when you want certain things in your life, and you tell people about it, especially people closest to you, they don't believe it. They don't believe it. They might say, yeah, okay. Especially if it's on a broad scale. If it's on a broad scale, they definitely not gonna believe it. Like, that's anybody in your family have done it before. Like going to college, you see somebody go to college and get a degree, yeah, okay, yeah. But going against that and going to say I'm gonna start this, I'm gonna start that, entrepreneurship or something like that. Nobody never seen. But yeah. But one story. I'm gonna close with this because I love it. I thought about this the other day, and I love it. And I love it. I love them, and I'm thankful for them because they're part of my family. So I can't. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know how long it's been. I know it's been at least 30 years, I'm gonna say. But I know a man and a woman. They had a vision. They had a vision to start their own church, right? Their own church, and disciples of Christ. Disciples, believers of God, right? So they believed, and they had a vision. They had a vision, and this this couple this couple got bonds. Decided to set up bonds. Or decided they wanted to raise money, pretty much, to build a church. And you know, lo and behold, 30, I'm not gonna lie, 30, 20, 30, whatever, how many years later, they've been a blessing to the community. They've been a blessing to other people in that area, and God has been good. So, it all. I said that to say it all starts with a vision. It all starts with belief and faith. If you have faith, if you have belief, and you make steps towards it, and keep God first, then there's no telling where you can go. There's no telling where you can go. There's no telling where you can go. You, you, whoever's watching, there's no telling where you can go. So be inspired, be encouraged, and like I said, this channel is all about growth. It's not about not about the rah rah rah. I I wanna. I've been down that dark road. I've been down a dark road. I know it's dark. I want to be. I want to be the person that's been down a dark road and is walking back with light, so everybody can see. So y'all be safe. Y'all be encouraged. You can have what you want. Just put God first and make steps towards wherever you want to go. Y'all be safe. Y'all be blessed. Like I always say when I close out my videos, and I see y'all tomorrow. I see y'all tomorrow. For those that subscribe, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. If you're not subscribed, if you don't want to subscribe, that's fine. But I'll be live tomorrow, maybe early in the morning, maybe not. I don't know. I haven't set. I got to set a time. I haven't done that yet, but I will set a time coming up soon, maybe in the next couple of weeks. And for those that are interested, I have an ebook coming out towards the end of the month. I'll share more about that later on, but I got an ebook coming out, so look out for that. So anyway, y'all be safe, y'all be blessed, like I always say. Yeah, you're kind too, and you're blessed. God loves you. So anyway, y'all be safe, y'all be blessed. Like I always say, kiss the ones you love. You never kiss them again. Tell somebody you love them, because you never know when you're going to go. You never know when they're going to go. And kiss the ones you love. You never know when you can kiss them again. Y'all be safe, y'all be blessed, and I'll be seeing you in upcoming videos. I go live daily, all through the week. And tomorrow and Sunday are the fun days. Through the week, Monday through Friday, are the serious days about growth, about spiritual growth, about life, my life experiences. And you know what? I'll be seeing y'all. Yeah, I'm out. Peace out. Be blessed.